Hello, you're tuned into AWANI Review with me, Cynthia. Now, on today's episode, we are featuring iMotorbike, the leading platform in Malaysia to buy and sell pre-owned motorcycles. And today, I'm right here at their showroom in Glen Malaysia, Alam. And joining me on the show is co-founder and CEO of iMotorbike, Gil Carmo. Thank you so much for having us today at your showroom. Now, I understand this is pretty new, a year in, but your journey started back in 2017, and this is a pretty impressive place. I think it's like 40,000+ square feet. But the story, when you first started, if you can walk us through that and talk to us about what led you to starting iMotorbike.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for having us. And you know, iMotorbike started with the vision and idea that motorcycles haven't been digitalized in Southeast Asia as a vehicle, and finding a place to buy or sell motorcycles at that time, for me as a user that tried to do so, was extremely hard, and navigated multiple countries in the region and tried to understand what was happening digitally in terms of the motorcycle trade, and was pretty much a desert. And that fascinated me because of the volumes that I was seeing that every market carried in terms of motorcycles. So that triggered the idea of starting iMotorbike, and we first started as a classified platform, basically a listing website where people could find a buyer for their motorcycle, where the dealers could expose their products as well. That idea and business model lasted until 2021, when we made a pivot on the business model, being that Facebook Marketplace came very aggressively and free of charge globally. And obviously monetizing a listing classified platform was extremely hard. But we had a lot of customer love, we had a lot of dealer love, we had great investors, an incredible team, and the TAM, the total market, was really, really huge and didn't change. It kept growing. So we thought we just need to iterate a little bit the business model that we carry, and we did so to own inventory in 2021 July, and that's basically the beginning of what you see today.
All right. So if you can fast forward to today, can you walk us through how has the past 12 months been for iMotorbike? If you can share with us some metrics and numbers, that would be great.
No, fantastic. So I think since we started in 2021 with this business model, we have kind of doubled every year the volumes of trade that we do between buy and sell. We're trading on the north of 600 between buy and sell units monthly. And we believe that by the end of this year, we're going to more than double what we've done last year. The market is extremely big, not only in Malaysia, but in the region. And we're just in the very beginning of what we're capable of. And it's been a great 12 months.
All right, fantastic. Now I'll get to your roadmap to get to doubling those numbers there, but I do want to talk about the problems that you're solving when you first started business, the gaps that you saw in the market. I mean, motorbikes are valuable assets, but of course online transactions could be quite tricky at times with fraud and quality inspections and all that. So I do wonder, in terms of services, could you walk us through some of the services that you provide, and how does it make the experience smoother and more reliable for customers looking to buy and sell pre-owned motorcycles?
Right. I think the whole business model came with understanding the pain of the customer was really big, right? It was hard to understand the quality of the vehicles they were purchasing. It was really hard to understand the historical of the maintenance the vehicles had. It was hard to buy and trust that without warranty, most times they wouldn't have any problem afterwards, and they would have the cash to basically fix the motorcycles that they need so much to travel, to work, to take the kids to school and whatnot. So we came up with a very simple but very detailed and complex at the same time inspection system for every single motorcycle that we purchase from a consumer that would visit us in our inspection centers. And right now we have more than 10, where our inspector will go in detail, learn the historical of the motorcycle, get all documentation, make a further assessment on our side, and at the same time physically inspect the motorcycles. By doing that, at the end of the inspection, we would be offering a price for acquiring the motorcycle, and if the seller is agreeable to it, we wire the money within 3 days, and basically we get the motorcycle in our side, right? So having done that, we enable the consumer to sell their motorcycle with hassle-free, super easy, and guided in all the paperwork and bureaucratic side of things, right? When we get the motorcycle on our side, we do go through a refurbishment process.
Okay.
So we have our own mechanics that have been trained to operate multi-brand, multi-model, and it's a constant actually learning as well. And they go through the refurbishment, looking at safety first. Obviously, we look at brakes, we look at tires, we look at all sort of different things that can enable more safety to the motorcycle that come to us. And at the same time, we look at other elements of the bike. So once that is done, the bike goes up and live to all content teams. Is created on our website an advertisement where we showcase all the details and specs of the motorcycle and the pricing, and where people can reach out to us and come to visit, test ride the motorcycle. We'll take care of the paperwork, we'll take care of the financing, the insurance, and all sort of different things. We enable up to 24 months extended warranty in the motorcycle, but all bikes are guaranteed 6 months proof with warranty for engine, gearbox, and ECU. We also enable the consumers with 6 days return policy. So if you take the motorcycle and by any reason you decide you want to change the motorcycle or you want to return, we will enable you that with obviously TNCs applied, insurance and whatnot is deducted. And also if you just book a motorcycle and you give us a deposit, we also refund if you change mine within 5 days. So we make it, in a way, the most seamless and comfortable place for people to come and make a choice of their next vehicle. I believe we took all the hassle, the pain, the worry of the acquisition of or sale of a vehicle that you carry.
It's like a one-stop center, end-to-end service,
yeah.
right? Okay. Now, I do want to talk a bit about your presence here. I know your iMotorbike also operates in Vietnam, which is a very large market, but I want to focus on Malaysia for a moment. So we have quite a big market here. If you look at numbers, 16 million registered bikes on the road. Can you talk to us in terms of penetration or the kind of market share that you want to see? Where are you right now, and how do you plan to make the most of this market?
I think we're very blessed with a lot of customer love, and that just obviously builds the confidence on us. The market is there, but I believe we're doing something really, really well, and it's showing on the numbers on every month growth that we're having. At the same time, like I said, we're at the very beginning of the capability of Malaysia. Malaysia, even though is one of the smallest motorcycle market in Southeast Asia, it still carries 16 million motorcycles registered, and that amounts to constant growth every year with the new bike that are sold yearly, and amounts as well to a very wide capability of us growing based on we're now trading at 600 plus bikes monthly, right? So we actively look forward to expand further in geographic capability in Malaysia. We look at Penang. We know there's a lot of searches for us in Penang. We look at Johor. We look at multiple other locations where we can set foot as we are capable to do so, and provide our service and capabilities to the local people in those areas.
So right now you're mostly in the Klang Valley area.
I would say in the buying side of our business, we are a little bit more spread out. We have multiple inspection centers across the country. Whilst to sell, we basically in Malaysia have this only one location where it's here. But we do ship bikes everywhere. We had customers from Miri, we had customers from Terengganu, we had customers from multiple points, and we have our towing systems that distribute bikes everywhere. Okay. But it's different than having a location right there.
But that's the plan eventually.
Of course, yes.
All right. Okay, so I do want to talk about transfer a bit, because on a broader scale, if you look at numbers, there is a decline in new motorcycle sales, especially in the first half of 2024. And I think looking at other broader trends like growing middle class, the ability to purchase a car, for instance, and this push towards cleaner vehicles, e-motorbikes, e-cars and all that. How do these trends impact your platform, and given that you're focused more on the second-hand market?
markets are constantly fluctuating, whatever markets is, whatever industry. I would say the motorcycle market has been on the bull side for many, many years in the region. Malaysians have an extra layer of excitement on the motorcycle market, in the sense there's a lot of passion rather than just a utility vehicle that takes me A to B. And we see that in a great scale of the population that drives motorcycle, which is about 50% of Malaysians. And I think that those fluctuations shouldn't be seen on the microwave, because definitely that will trigger different types of reactions. But if you look at it as a whole, for many, many years past, and what we foresee years to come, definitely makes a lot more sense to ride a motorcycle every day. It's a lot more cost efficient for the household consumption capability, being that a motorcycle on average consumes 3 liters at 100 kilometers, whilst the car, if you get any car that consumes less than 6 or 7 or 8, is hard. And then maintenance costs, insurance costs, road tax costs, all those, I think, taken into account, people will still keep choosing motorcycles when they look at the effectiveness of the household spend.
And it's of course, it's still a popular choice among populations who can't afford a car yet. I do wonder, does iMotorbike work with partners to help make owning a second-hand motorcycle more accessible to that population? Is that something that you're...
As in like financing partners?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. So we operate with 4, 5, actually with all potential financiers for motorcycles and loan providers in every market that we operate. That's something we go really deep. We don't do it ourselves, but we enable the interaction and actually the full scope of service to the consumers. And we apply loan for all of them in multiple platforms. And obviously that makes it a lot easier for most consumers to access the motorcycles they want.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I want to talk a bit about regional markets. I definitely want to talk about Vietnam because you're already there, and it is a population, like 70% of the population owns a motorcycle, right? So can you tell us more about your presence there, and what's the plan there? How big are you guys, and what's the vision?
So I'd say our greater business is definitely in Malaysia today. We have high hopes for Vietnam. Is a completely different market in terms of how you operate and navigate in terms of business than Malaysia is. Malaysia, has an incredible developed system in terms of name change, ownership of vehicles, which I think most countries in the world don't have, which makes it extremely easy for us to operate out of our own shop, change names and whatnot. But Vietnam, as you said, carry, like most countries in Southeast Asia, close to 80% of household ownership of motorcycles, and that makes it extremely appealing. So right now, I can't really tell you how big it's going to become, but the ambition is there, and all the team is very excited about it. But with time, will tell.
Okay, but what's your vision for Vietnam, if you could share with us?
We want to serve as many motorcycle users as we can in the brightest, with customer excellence approach as we do in Malaysia, providing a fast, secure, and easy way to trade, buy, and sell motorcycles, or upgrade, trade up, and trade down, right? And we definitely are already set foot in Ho Chi Minh City, which is the second city of Vietnam, not being the capital, but the one that has the most amount of population. And we're actively growing the team there. We are at the moment enhancing on the funding side exactly to also support the growth of multiple markets, being Malaysia a very important market, but Vietnam as well. And we're looking at a third market. So I think there's a lot of potential to it. It's down to us executing the market in a greater scale. Right now, we are far smaller there than we are in Malaysia.
Okay, now looking ahead then, we've talked about Malaysia, Vietnam. I imagine that looking at Southeast Asia, Indonesia would be the next natural step, given that they have a far larger motorcycle market there. Talk to us about your expansion plans. Is Indonesia on the cards, or are you looking somewhere else?
I think we want to be global. I think we're very ambitious. I think Indonesia is definitely a super bright motorcycle market, 126 million registered motorcycles. It's part of their DNA. We definitely see a lot of potential of supporting and adding value to all that are trading second-hand vehicles on the motorcycle side there. We don't have set in stone a date that we're going to be there, but I feel that it's going to come about.
Okay. So what's your next location for expansion?
So, I mean, aligned with what we have with the board and investors, I feel that Taiwan is going to start rolling up. Yeah.
Why Taiwan?
So Taiwan has a lot of interesting characteristics. First is a very old market, very developed. Has less 10 million people than Malaysia has, but has pretty much almost the same amount of motorcycles, which makes it a very interesting market, very dense geographically as compared to Malaysia as well. This is a much smaller market. And it's definitely out of the interest of the whole shareholding support that we carry today.
Okay. Now, if we want to talk a bit about competition, because if you look at not just Southeast Asia, in the Asia region, there are a few players in the same market as you, selling and buying pre-owned motorcycles. So I do want to get a sense of your focus of iMotorbike right now. Are you looking to quickly dominate markets, or is your focus more skewed towards rolling out more services or developments within your existing markets? Talk to us about where's that focus at the moment? How do you anticipate the business will look like in about a year's time?
Look, I appreciate your question. I feel that we see ourselves as a growing multiplication of what we have built now. I see that we're very similar to other chains of different type of industries, where we set foot in a new location, we provide all services that we carry today, but essentially we internally fully focus in trading, and then we have partners that support the remaining through us, and we grow at speed that model. So trading is our core, our focus is excellence of support service to the customers on buying their motorcycles and selling their motorcycles. And to that, we obviously need the finance partners, the insurance partners and whatnot. But that's our core focus. And then setting foot in multiple locations by doing that at speed is what we aim for, yes. So setting up Penang, setting up Johor, setting up Ho Chi Minh, further, eventually Hanoi and Taipei and whatnot. And giving this city's population the capability of having comfort of trading their vehicles in a safe, easy, and secure way is basically our focus. Now, the diversification of the model, where we do other things besides the trading, is something that obviously comes to the table for us to talk about multiple times. But I think we really want to excel on the customer support on that front first. And then once we grow to a different scale, we will think through these other options that we have.
Okay. Well, can you then share with us your experience of operating in different markets? So we have Malaysia, which is a pretty mature market, as you have mentioned, and then you have Vietnam and all the other new countries that are coming in. Different demographic, different culture, different regulatory environment. How has that been for you?
I think it's fun. I think both me and my co-founder have quite a bit of experience in multi-market operation due to the past companies that we worked in. And you know, it's just adapting, understanding that one rule doesn't fit all. But I think at the same time is counterintuitive, because you do need to localize. You do need to learn the local ways. You need to have the local partners to teach you and go through it, the local team that can lead and captain the ship in the right way. But at the same time, you need to keep the core, the values, the mission, and the vision of the company in place, where customer excellence, the ease of trade, and all of that come about. And matching this boat sometimes is where, it's building a puzzle. It's fun.
It's fun and challenging, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Looking ahead, though, what changes or exciting developments that we can expect from iMotorbike? Let's say, give us a sense of, in the year ahead, what can we expect?
You will see us going to other locations. Yep. You'll see us trading a lot more. I believe making a lot more customers happy, but building more partnerships, but essentially keeping the core focus, right? I don't foresee that we'll come about and say we have a whole new business model. I don't foresee any of those. We like to say very laser focused, and you know, keep it really simple, because it's a business that is extremely complex. It requires, you know, if you think the amount of motorcycles that we trade and the volume and the diversity of them, it requires a very minutious approach to the operation to ensure excellence on the delivery, which and satisfaction of the customer to the max, right? So we like to keep the focus, and the diversification of business model will come later. So in the next year, we will see multiple locations, but the same model.
I did want to talk about funding, because I think your last round of fundraising was in 2023. I think it was $2.6 million. Talk to us about, you know, how has this funding been used in terms of in terms of services and platform, and what's next in that front?
So the round was done. We enabled us to expand to a facility as big as this, enable us to, in a very lean way of looking at capital, grow our inventory, grow the way we interact with people by enhancing our human resources capabilities as well. Our technology also had quite a bit of a boost in what it was and what it is today. And definitely that has been quite a bit of joy. Right now we are looking at the next stage of funding, which is pretty much happening soon.
Okay, all right. Now I must ask this question because everyone's talking about AI and machine learning, and how has that, or has it impact your business at all in the pre-owned motorcycle scene?
I'd say that we do look at constantly ways of improving what we do, and I think everybody's talking about AI because it makes a lot of sense, and how...
Yeah, but in reality, like because I've seen platforms that promote themselves on the basis of, you know, we're using AI to leverage on, you know, customers' data and help you deliver better bikes. So I'm just wondering whether it's something that...
I love the topic because I like to see it as it is, and the reality is, for us, we're not yet at the stage that we can't fully utilize any of that in a greater way. We do use, like most companies, the OpenAI, ChatGPT for all content related and so on, and multiple other things that are required within the scope that we can. But when it comes to, for instance, inspection of motorcycles, or let's talk just the inspection of motorcycles. It's something that we do have envisioned that we will utilize in the future. You know, you have cameras that do face recognition, right? Yeah. As they do face recognition, they eventually can see the temperature, whatnot. I don't know details enough to be very explicit, but we do assess when we're inspecting a motorcycle, the temperature of the vehicle, the engine, the vibration level, the noise level, all these things. I eventually believe, and again, I don't carry the full knowledge to talk about it, but I believe AI will support us to assess that in a much quicker way at the machine touch distance where we stand, right? And I think it's definitely possible today. Now, in terms of machine learning and whatnot, we also do see and foresee the utilization of that in our business. We process a lot of data. We are data obsessed, and that comes with the thousands of motorbikes we have traded, and the data related to it, and the refurbishments we've done in all of them, and then the customers, like on the buying side, on the selling side, on the trading side, and how they behave. And I believe that will help us to enhance a lot how we do business. They'll make our business a lot faster in terms of how we trade, the time we take to trade. I can't get you too much details there, but it's something that we actually started to work on already. Yeah.
So it's definitely something on your radar right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So just one last thing, because there's a big push among countries globally to cleaner vehicles, e-motorbikes. If you look at Indonesia, I think the government announced like almost $500 million in subsidy to help people buy e-motorbikes.
Yes.
So I do wonder, how do you see this development? how do you, is there a strategic pivot in your approach then in terms of looking at these trends that are coming?
Look, for us as a business model is the same. So we're in the circular economy. Obviously, we revitalize, we refurbish and make bikes alive again in a way. Like, just to say that we bring them to standard, right, of the OEM, which makes that help the compliance in terms of environment and whatnot, regulations. But in terms of the electric motorcycles, I believe against cars, I think electric cars is far more hard in terms of infrastructure, in terms of energy supply and whatnot. I think it's far more hard to get it right globally. If you just swap all petrol for all electric vehicles today globally, I think we wouldn't have enough electric supply. And then sourcing that or building that would damage more the environment than not. But that's today. I don't know tomorrow, and that's my opinion. But for motorcycles, I have a slight different opinion. I think the consumption is far lesser than for a car need. I feel that the solutions of swappable batteries are a lot more plausible for motorcycles than are for cars, which makes it infrastructure-wise a lot more feasible. And simultaneously, people can charge their motorcycles at home far more easy than charging a car, right? Because you would see any second Vietnamese parks a motorcycle in their house. Malaysians the same, Indonesians the same. There's a lot of culture of landed houses, right, throughout the country, if you forget the city centers, right? And that enables a completely different perspective for the e-bikes. For us, the business model is the same. We trade e-bikes in Vietnam already, dad bikes and whatnot, and it's the same. I mean, the great part is refurbishment-wise is lesser. There's a lot lesser need because it doesn't carry all the components of the mechanical needs of an ice bike, but yeah.
All right, okay.
So, but looking forward for that as well.
So it opens up probably another business segment for you as well.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Gil, for spending some time to talk to me about iMotorbike, and best of luck with whatever you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.